You know, it was just about a year ago this weekend, actually, that the Lafayette Leopards traveled to Williamsburg, Virginia, and pulled off probably their biggest upset of the whole football season. Well, we're here tonight to talk about another upset. 13 fledgling colonies fighting for their independence, and they took down the world power at the time. And if there were a most valuable player of that contest, he's with me here tonight. He's the namesake of our good college. He is a hero of two continents, and he's celebrating a birthday. I'm with the Marquis de Lafayette. Marquis, bienvenue.
Merci beaucoup, John. A pleasure to be here.
Thank you very much. You know, it's fascinating, your life history. When I was 19 years old, I was still asking my dad to borrow the car. Your life was quite different. What possessed you to latch on to the American ideal, the American colonies' desire for their independence?
Well, I was left an orphan at a very young age, and all my dream was to distinguish myself on the battlefield. And when I heard about the fight for freedom that the Americans were doing against the English, I enlisted my heart to it. And I really got motivated to come. So I bought my own ship, and I joined as a volunteer the Continental Army under General Washington.
Amazing decision, because at the time, you could have lived life in a comfortable fashion, an aristocratic gentleman, but you bet on the colonies and decided to come over here and risk.
Indeed, indeed, and that's where I changed my motto to Cœur non. And I'm very honored actually that the Lafayette College has used my motto, Cœur non, why not, as a rallying cry.
Now, of course, there was the revolution, and then years later, you returned, and I think that's where the genesis of Lafayette really happened. I think you must have been about 66 years old in 1824, and you came very close to home, and you were greeted by some Lafayette folks, or some Easton folks.
Yes, indeed. I'm actually going to be greeted, and I met a gentleman, an Eastern lawyer, James Porter Madison, and apparently he was impressed with me, and he actually suggested that little town, New College, would be named after me, Lafayette.
Incredible, and I'd like to think that so many of the ideals that you espoused as a young man have become part of the ethos of our culture here, taking chances, risking, kind of defining your own future and destiny.
Yes, absolutely. I was a proponent of civil rights, of liberty in religion, and I think Lafayette College has proved themselves as a college where the young student can have a voice in the world and study abroad here and really make a difference.
Very quickly, your relationship with George Washington, he almost adopted you as his own. What was the genesis of that relationship, and what did it mean to you?
Well, when I met him, he introduced me to the troops, and he apologized for how they looked like, because they were not good-looking soldiers. And I turned toward him and I said, "Mon général, I'm here to learn and not to teach." And that's how we developed a father and son relationship.
That's incredible. Was your interest in helping the colonies at all peppered by the rivalry between France and England?
Well, I cannot deny that. But really what struck me the most is for the first time, people were fighting for their liberty. In Europe, we fight for land and power. The American people, the colonies, were fighting for their own freedom and be able to guide themselves in a new country.
And when the revolution was complete here, you didn't stop there. You went back to France and continued your struggle.
Absolutely. I actually, my goal was to have the American Constitution, have a French one now. And that's what I worked for, and also worked for any civil right. Anti-slavery was one of my big subjects. Matter of fact, you might not know, but I bought a farm in the French Indies and free the slave, developed a program to free the slave, to prove to American friends that it was possible to free the slave.
There is so much about your life. Incidentally, on Monday, Diane Shaw, the Lafayette College archivist, will be conducting a lecture on the life of General Lafayette, or Major General? What was the title?
Major General.
Major General. So please, I urge you, try to get up there if you can. It's fantastic. And General Lafayette, thank you so much for spending time with us. It's been fascinating. I wish we had more time, but thank you for being here tonight.
Well, thank you very much. It was a pleasure to be here in Lafayette.
Very well. Gary, Michael, it's been fun talking to some guys. This one goes on the resume. Back to you guys.